What's cooking, everybody? We are live. Sorry we're a little bit late. I had to eat some lunch. We're making coffee right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything sounds and looks good. This is the first time we're actually shooting in the set. I'm looking at the image. It is a little desaturated, but oh well. Our internet is really bad, so bear with us.
You need to change the video resolution. Not supported.
What's up?
Whatever you set it to is not supported by YouTube.
Okay.
In OBS.
All right, hold one moment, please. And we're back. Hello. Okay, we're back. 720p. We don't have the best internet in the whole wide world.
It's true. It's the best internet that the apartment complex would allow us to get, which is really weird.
Yeah. All right, does it look okay, guys? Hello, hello. All right, so we're here. We're live. Happy face, Connor.
Yay. Sorry.
All right, guys, so we are live now. We've got the Osmo Pocket. We've got the Speed Booster. And we have a broken EOS R.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny how that happened, and we will tell that story later in the stream.
What's up, Furworks? Welcome to the stream.
Mike? Yeah, hey guys, what's up? If you have any questions for us, make sure to let us know by doing @Kinotika in the chat. That way it shows up in a nice orange highlighted area in the chat. We can see that and directly answer your questions. Connor is making some coffee now. We didn't have time to make it. Sounds like it's done.
Just did something. So
as he walks away, I will begin the stream. Thank you to many of you guys and gals who have joined us. We are super grateful for all the people that subscribed because of the Osmo Pocket videos. Huge win for us. And we're so grateful that you guys shared the video, that you clicked the links, that you went and applied for the giveaway, which, again, if you're not aware, we are doing a giveaway of the Osmo Pocket. Link will be in the description below this live stream, and you can see all the details on that. So DJI has officially updated the firmware on the Osmo Pocket, even though it's not actually out yet. So really good news that they're actually responding to us. We had some complaints about the audio, the autofocus, all sorts of things. And it's actually working really well now. So if you haven't seen our video yet about this, we posted it this morning. Link is in the description of this video as well. So click that link and save it for a watch later, and you can check it out. We went out with Jevin Dovey, who's another YouTuber that we have recently become friends with. He lives in Santa Monica, which is pretty cool. We drove up there and we did a collaboration with Jevin. He did a video on his channel as well. But the biggest takeaway is the audio has finally gotten better with this. Like the tiny little microphone, you can't really see it in this live stream, obviously, but there's a tiny mic right underneath the screen here. And it was so bad in our official review and the GoPro comparison review as well. And everybody told us in the comments that the mic was terrible, the audio quality was terrible, and it's true. It was very, very bad. In fact, the GoPro was better, and the GoPro is notorious for being really bad at audio. So with this new firmware update, we finally have a decent audio with the built-in Osmo.
And actually, if you watch Jevin Dovey's video, I don't know if you guys notice or what you guys think about this, but personally, when he played his GoPro Hero 7 video with audio from the Rode mic, I think.
No, he took the mic off.
He took the mic off, good, because
it was worse.
Because it was bad. It was, bad in comparison to the Osmo Pocket. The Osmo Pocket actually had better, more crisp audio.
Yeah, so I don't know how DJI did it, but they legitimately updated the firmware and the audio is better. So I would have no hesitation in recommending just this kit here being all that you need, because also another thing that they've done is they've updated the usability of this little button. There's only two buttons on the Osmo Pocket straight out of the box.
It's true.
A record button and a power button. Previously, the power button didn't really do anything except I think it would
cycled between
cycle through modes.
Yeah, your gimbal mode, so first person view, follow mode, and tilt lock.
But now if you double tap it, it centers the gimbal. If you triple tap it, it goes into selfie mode. If you triple tap it again, like so, it goes back to the normal mode. And these are all features that were on the little accessory. If you watched our official review, we showed that little accessory. There's like a little dial on it and 2 buttons. Those buttons allowed for all these features. And I guess if you want the most options, that still is a better solution to buy that. But now, straight out of the box, you can kind of do everything that you need.
And that was kind of one of our complaints, is that you actually had to have the dial to really use it without a phone.
Exactly.
And using it with a phone is a little clunky sometimes, so it feels better when it's just like this, but you still needed the dial, which is, what, $60?
Yeah, but I will say between the time that we shot our review and now, we have actually used the Bluetooth accessory, and it works really well.
That's true.
Connor and I did a shoot on Saturday with Timberland boots, of all people. It was
so weird.
It was so random and weird. It was a lot of fun. We went out with my friend Preston Ryan, who owns a company called Snaproll Media, which is an insane... Yes, please. I still have some. Just mix it. Yeah. All right. It'll be gross. It's a mixture of Starbucks and Chemex. But yeah, the Bluetooth accessory worked really well. For some time-lapse, we did some time-lapse videos with it. You can set your A and B points of the gimbal, so you could say start here and then end here, and within a 10-minute time frame, take pictures and make a 3-second video. It does all the math for you. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. It does all the math for you, and yeah, it's really cool to have the Bluetooth accessory. Really stupid that it's not built in, but hey, it's there. It's an accessory. It is something that you can buy. Yeah. So definitely. The autofocus on this apparently has improved as well. And if you watch our video again, link in the description, you can see that when I'm doing the selfie shot, it was actually in focus. It was really sharp. In fact, Connor did a test where he ran as fast as he could. It was stable and it was in focus.
Yeah, it was pretty dang. Other than when I tripped, I kind of tripped a little bit. So you see it like dip. Yeah. And I think Jevin uploaded it with it, or maybe we did. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that dip was me tripping.
But funny enough, Jevin's review, if you watch his video, and then we also showed a clip of it on our video, the focus was totally off. Like, it wasn't focused on his face. So we need to do some more tests, and Connor, you brought up a good point.
Yeah.
I saw it in his comments.
I was going through the comments between his video and our video just to see kind of what people were saying, get a general feel, and a lot of people seem to think that his hat, because it was like a tree pattern, and it was very chaotic. They said maybe the camera was confusing it with the background, so not really sure. So
I don't know. I'm going to dive into the comments here real quick. Yeah. David Longnecker, what coffee, what roaster? We got a Chemex, and we're using coffee from Aldi, I believe.
Is it Aldi coffee? It's whatever you brought.
Yep, Aldi. Moblin Retzer, hello from Czech Republic. Can you confirm that slow motion is back on the Osmo Pocket? Yes. It's back. 120 frames per second in 1080p is there. If you watch Jevin's video, he goes into more detail about it. We just kind of showed it off. He spoke on something that I wish we mentioned, which is as soon as you shoot in 1080p, 120 frames per second, it crops in quite a substantial amount. It's probably about a 2x crop. So it's a much tighter image, but it's still there. It's usable. And then secondly, when you go to 1080p 120, the quality gets way worse, like substantially worse. So I would not ever shoot in a flat profile when you're doing 120. I would shoot in the normal color mode. And honestly, overall, I would probably stick with the normal color mode, because even in 4K 60 at the highest bit rate, it's still not very good. If you're shooting outside and there's clouds and sky, maybe D-Cine-like is a good option. But I found when I was doing some color grading in Cine-like with this camera, it's just not very good because the image kind of falls apart. You can do a flat, in quotations, mode. It's just not very flat at all.
The files aren't beefy either.
No.
Like, even when just looking at them when I was editing, I pointed out to Dave, I'm like, it looks kind of noisy and muddy.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, let's be fair. $350 gimbal camera combo.
Gay Shrink asked, do you promise the firmware updates are a significant improvement? Just ordered one based on your update. Yes, I promise.
Yeah.
We're not lying at all. Honestly, I wish that the gimbal had what we have now straight out of the gate, because I think all the reviewers would have been a little bit more positive about it if it came like this. I think DJI just is having trouble with like sending these out early to people like us to do reviews, but then still working on firmware. So like apparently we got word from DJI that the firmware was already done when our reviews went live for this. And they were like, why is this review bad? And it's like, well, technically this is what you gave us. It's an old firmware. It might be from like 2 months ago.
Yeah, so we're just reviewing the product we got.
So we're just being honest with you guys, always trying to stay as unbiased as possible. Of course, DJI sent us this gimbal, so we're very fortunate and really thankful to them for allowing us to have early access to it. But we're still staying completely unbiased. We're not getting paid by DJI in any way whatsoever. They just give us these on loan. Like, we don't even own it. They're just letting us borrow it until they ask for it back, which we've found has typically meant that we kind of keep it for a very long time, because we still have our Inspire 2, which
when
we
did
got
they give that to us?
Like in February of last year. So
this year.
Elvis D, can you connect the Osmo Pocket using a USB-C to micro USB adapter? I'm not sure about micro. I think the only options right now are Lightning and USB-C. I don't see why they couldn't make a micro for those Android phones that have the micro USB.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. But I only have two. We only have a Lightning for iPhone and then USB-C.
And as far as we know, they haven't made any or have plans yet.
Just been playing with it. How do you enable 120 in slow motion? D Filmmaker asks. Make sure that you connect your phone using the accessory here, and then you go into the excuse me. You can go into the modes and swipe up to slow motion. If you don't want to use your phone, you can get there by swiping over to the left, and then you can just go to slow motion. Alberto, what's cooking? Just checking in. Wait, hold on. I missed it. Sorry. Just going to say the G7 is better than the Red Raven 4.5K after using both with Sigma 1.8.
Wow.
Cool, man. I find it best used with a phone so I can truly monitor what you shoot. France says, what do you think of the colors coming out of the Osmo Pocket? I downloaded a sample from Jevon's footage and I'm seeing similar nuclear greens like a Blackmagic camera for works, or Mike asks. Colors straight out of the box are decent. I, again, would not recommend shooting in the flat modes. Oh, man, I got something stuck in my throat.
Can you kind of like scarfed it down. Yeah, the flat modes are just kind of not great and beefy, and they're not good for color grading. You can't really push them too far. They kind of fall apart really quickly. And the
overall color still looks good, though.
The overall color does look good, and the like straight out of the box color is good. I did think it looked a little punchy personally. Yeah. Especially in Dave's vlog test. But you could always turn the contrast down a little bit and tweak it slightly. So it's not bad, all things considered.
I think for a vlogger, which I really think this camera is specifically designed for, the normal color mode is totally fine. Being able to shoot in 4K, even though you're doing a 1080p delivery, is going to be easy because the files are not, like Connor said, they're not chunky. So shooting in just the basic 4K mode is going to be real easy to edit on your phone or your computer, and you get much higher quality than 1080p. Even if you're outputting to 1080p, it's just going to look sharper, and you're getting the best image quality possible.
Also, if you're just using it as like a social media camera for like Instagram or something, it's going to be more than enough. It's way better than your phone, and they all compress the video down anyways. So
the main reason why I think this is a better option than a phone for most circumstances is because you get a faster aperture at f2.0. So, well, actually, technically, this is an f1.8 aperture, but because this is stabilized, because you can see yourself on the monitor, this is kind of a better overall system than using your phone. But I don't know, the ease of just picking up your phone and filming yourself, that's pretty dang easy too.
I wouldn't say that it's not a replacement to your phone, because people are always going to find their phone more convenient than this thing. But it's like the perfect camera accessory to your phone if you're wanting to do something more, if you're wanting to go that extra step and you don't want to kill yourself and spend a lot of money on a real camera and some lenses and all this stuff. this is everything combined, and it's a pretty nice little package.
Alex asks, will they add manual mode without the phone? I'm not sure they should. Jevin talked about that in his review. And
you linked his video?
Yeah, it's linked in our video.
Okay.
But, yeah, I can add it later. But yeah, manual mode is only accessible on the phone at the moment. However, if you set your settings on your phone over Bluetooth, for example, you can just kind of pull your phone out, change some settings, and then lock it, and then go back to normal. So it's not too hard to do, and it stays in the manual modes even when the phone's not connected. So, you know, it's just hard to, like, they're going to need to, if they do add manual modes, they're going to have to really work on the UI, because it's hard to, like, touch the screen and, like, adjust things. So I don't really want to necessarily mess around with things on the screen.
I think if they add things, it's not going to be like a simple push. You know, how things are right now, it's a lot of swiping. So it's like swipe once, swipe again to get to another, swipe here, swipe there, swipe there. And it's just...
And that's how the GoPro is, too.
Yeah, and it's just because the screen's small. And so they could just add another swipe screen, honestly, and just call it a day.
Yeah, and if that little accessory had abilities to, like, maybe you could change your ISO or something with the buttons, I don't know. But.
Yeah, we have a lot of extra people here, so we should reiterate that if you have a question specifically for Dave or I or both, do at Kinotika and then your question, and we will do our best to answer it.
So let's just go ahead and say this: the last 3 weeks have been the biggest 3 weeks of Kinotika's history.
Oh yes.
And honestly, because we have 150 people watching right now, that's the most we've ever had.
I know.
So we want to thank you guys again for joining us. Anybody who's new to the channel. If you liked the Osmo reviews, then stick around, because we're gonna have a lot more content similar that's all about camera stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, we got the GoPro to review still. We've got we're shooting on the new Nikon Z6 right now.
Viltrox speed booster, which is right here.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So we've got the speed booster for the EF-M mount. A lot of you guys were really excited about this. We made a video a very long time ago about a hacked version that I found off eBay. And we finally have a production version here. If you're interested in buying one, please check the link below and consider buying it through our affiliate link. That's something that we're just now getting started doing. Affiliates, we realized that we really should be doing that. So
yeah. Also, I just want to iterate that I actually have already played and did like a first look test with the Viltrox, because Kinotika didn't get to it yet. We had it, so I thought about doing it. So I'm dropping it in the comments if you want to see some footage.
Yeah, Connor did a whole test with this compared to the EOS R before it broke, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is from Viltrox. It's called the EOS M2 0.71X, which essentially is a 0.71x speed booster.
Yep.
Which means that if you multiply 1.6 times 0.71, it almost equals 1. It's not. It's very close to it.
That's talking about 1080p.
Yeah, so or 1080 or for stills. So if you take pictures with the M50 with the speed booster using EF glass, you now have essentially a full frame camera with autofocus as well. So we've got all the electronics for EF. Dual pixel autofocus works a treat on it. It's totally like workable. It's not like a crappy adapter. And then for 4K, that's where things get really interesting.
That's right.
On this camera, you can shoot 4K similar to an EOS R.
I'm going to do a little bit of math here.
But the crop is like a 2.5x, right?
2.56 according to EOS HD.
Yeah, so that is like almost Micro Four Thirds. Actually, it's more than Micro Four Thirds now that I think about it. Micro Four Thirds is 2x. So this is a heavy crop without any type of speed booster in 4K. As soon as you put the speed booster on, it equals
1.81, which is really close to the EOS R 4K.
It's actually better. So the EOS R 4K crop is 1.85. This is 1.81. So technically speaking, you're getting less of a 4K crop with the M50 using a speed booster for half the price. Granted, this is an expensive adapter. It's coming in around $200, give or take, depending on shipping and pricing at the time. And then the camera itself costs about $400 to $500. So I guess it's like more than half, less than half still.
Yeah.
The EOS R is $2,300.
Right,
so,
no lens.
With no lens. So, same color science for the most part, same MP4, 150 megabit per second 4K. The only two problems with using this in 4K is, of course, the lack of autofocus for video. You're going to have that crappy contrast-based autofocus, which is a handicap that Canon has done on purpose to make this less appealing to people because, well, if it had dual pixel autofocus with the speed booster, this is essentially an EOS R for way less money.
And that's really, really unfortunate because, as you said, they had the ability, and it's kind of shady camera business is kind of what we're getting into here. Although we do have these nifty little manual lens that you picked up, and these, since you don't really want to use contrast-based autofocus, it's kind of nasty. These are awesome.
They focus so smooth because they're vintage lenses, and you know, these are contact Zeiss lenses with an EF adapter. And by the way, this is a little company sent me this called Lens Capped. Unfortunately, they had a Kickstarter and it failed, so you're never going to see this product, but I have one.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's a little lens cap that kind of like magnetically sticks, and then it has a little spring action on it. Kind of fun.
I do like that.
But anyways, I've got manual aperture control on the lens and then manual focus, and it's geared, and it's really nice.
Not to mention the M50 also comes built in with focus peaking.
Yes, so you don't need autofocus necessarily, especially if you're shooting like professional stuff in 4K with the speed booster. So the main thing that I would recommend is get a lens with internal or like IS stabilization because... Well, the other problem with this is the rolling shutter.
Rolling shutter is pretty bad.
So slight movements, even just like minor movements, cause a ton of jello. And the best way to kind of fix that is obviously use a tripod, a gimbal, and maybe shoot a little bit wider of a lens. The tighter you get, the more wobble you're going to see. So this 50 is not the best option.
Although if you do have it locked up on a tripod and you're shooting like an interview kind of video, it's perfectly fine because no rolling shutter.
So yeah, basically that's it. You need a lens with IS. You need to have like actual manual focus gears because you don't want to use that electronic focus by wire stuff. And then shoot fairly wide for the most part. I have a lens that's a 17 to 55, and that lens might be good. The problem with it is it's designed for EFS, and because there's a giant piece of glass right here, the lens itself will hit the glass when you go to the wide end. So the widest you can ever get on that lens is 20 millimeters. Yeah. You have an option here, but again, this isn't the best because that's a focus by wire lens.
And you get roughly the same as yours because it's an 18 to 135. So this is with just the regular adapter.
I guess the best option then would be like the 16 to 35 f4 from Canon. That would give you a wide enough.
What's that Sigma lens you always tell me to buy though?
The 18 to 35 would be great.
Yeah.
It's a 1.8. There's no IS on it, so that's really a tripod camera. Anyways, we're kind of ranting a little bit, and we will do an official review on this. Again, it is finally available. When we did our speed booster video back in the summer, it was a hacked version, and we told you that we would let you know as soon as one was available. Well, it's available. We saw it at Photokina firsthand, and now we own one, and you can buy them on Amazon. They are back ordered, however, but it does say that they will be back in stock in December. All right, so let's go through our comments again. We got some new comments.
Lots of comments.
Dan Wood, should I wait to buy a bundle? I know I'll want the accessories, but I really want it now. Thoughts on that? I'm assuming you're talking about the Osmo.
Is already a bundle.
Yeah, but it's not available yet. So if you want the Osmo today, or not today, but as soon as possible, then just buy the basic, Osmo, and then you can buy the accessories. DJI has a problem with their accessory release dates. They still haven't released a lot of the accessories that were supposed to come with the Ronin S, and that was back in the summer. So like the focus, the geared focus gears and stuff, the handles, a lot of those things still aren't really easy to get. So if you want it now, then definitely buy it now. I would not wait for the bundle because it might be 3 months before you see it.
No kidding.
How's the battery life? Alan S asks. It's good. It's about 2 hours, give or take, 2.5, depending on your usage, of course.
I think the official time is 2.5 hours, 1080-30. So
okay, yeah. So I guess if you're just using it nonstop in the lowest brightness on the screen, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like anytime they give you numbers for battery life, they're always going to pick like the best performing mode. So like the lowest quality with the brightness turned all the way down. In a practical real world use, shooting 4K 60 with the brightness all the way up, because honestly that's the only way you can see the screen, I would probably guesstimate between 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We had this thing doing time lapse and it was on the whole time, and we would do like these long time lapse, and the battery, I saw the battery die pretty quick, but it never died on us throughout the whole day. But I did charge it throughout the day.
But that is something to talk about. You can charge it throughout the day and while using, right?
Yeah, so if you want to plug it in and have it standing up, you want to get the Bluetooth module. It allows you to control it over your phone, but also it has like a loop through USB plug, so it hooks into the USB-C here, and then there's a female USB-C port on the back of it, so you can actually plug it in while it's on like a tripod mode, maybe doing a time lapse. So that's a good way to do it. So definitely buy like an extra little battery pack that you would use to like charge your phone with.
And they're cheap. They're not
super
expensive.
cheap.
Yeah.
I bought one at Walmart for $10, and it's what we use for everything.
Yeah.
What SDs do you record with? Just the SanDisk ones, the Extreme Pros. Any word on accessory release dates, panels, and bars? No, I do not have any official word on that. Life as Mo's. Is there any way to clear the screen on the app? I want to use it to screen cap to live stream. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that you can use this to live stream, unfortunately. If you want a small live streaming device, then I would definitely say get a GoPro.
Although I think you can clear the screen. I'm gonna do a test right now, live.
I'm pretty sure that it's not like specifically designed for live streaming.
I don't think so, but if the question's can you clear the screen, I think actually maybe. Ooh.
Download DJI.
Mobile Director says, guys, does the Osmo Pocket focus during slow motion? Yes, it does. It focuses very well. Life is Mo's. Kinotika, is there any way to do a clean video output? Okay, you already asked me that.
Yep.
Let's see. 4K crop on M50 is pretty okay good with 16mm cine lens. Nice. Okay, so EOS R broke. Let me get into that. So, if you guys aren't aware, on Twitter, I posted a photo of there's a little panel on, I don't have the EOS Rs at my house, but there's a little panel here on the top of the EOS R, and it cracked. I don't know how it happened. I was in the process of moving. Did you figure it out?
No, I didn't, but we're moving on. So
yeah, it's all good. I'm pretty sure you cannot use it for live streaming. But anyways, the little screen on top broke. It was in my camera bag. Something must have crushed it, obviously. But still, it's kind of stupid that it broke already, because I think I had it for 1 week and then it already had a crack.
Not to mention,
on the screen.
it was in a camera bag, so it was extra protected too. So
yeah, and I don't really. I mean, I'm like I don't know exactly why or how it happened, but it did. Obviously, no big deal. Like obviously something touched it and squished it and broke it. But my argument is like I've owned the 7D, 5D Mark III, 1DC, all these Canon cameras for years. Have had these little panels on top, and they're made of like really high quality sapphire glass, I'm pretty sure. And so I've never had any of those crack ever. I've literally dropped my Canon DSLRs before from like standing up, 6 feet up or whatever, and never had any problems. The fact that it was in my bag and something must have just squished it and that was enough to crack it, to me it was like, okay, they're using some really cheap plastic of some sort here, and this is terrible.
Yeah.
So that happened. No big deal. I was like, okay, we'll do it. We still need to do our review of the EOS R. It still works fine. It's just cracked. So, I'll send it in after we're done with our review, and Canon will fix the, it was annoying to look at. So of course I want to fix it. Well, we bought this little, and I want to be completely honest about it. And, we bought this cheap little accessory that I got off Amazon that plugs into the LP E6 on the camera. And I think this is the reason why my camera is broken now. but we were using it to power the camera because I can't charge it over USB-C while I'm using it, which is really stupid. And we do these hour-long live streams, and so we wanted unlimited power. And so I got this. The Canon one is $150,
right? And
the one I bought off Amazon is $18. So all the reviews said it worked fine. We plugged it in. It did work fine. We did 2 live streams using that adapter. In addition to that, we did a couple of shoots using that adapter.
It's true.
Every time we used it, no problems whatsoever. It powered on fine. It didn't give me any error codes or anything. Anyways, we did a full shoot one day. We turned it off, put the camera over here in the corner. The next morning, Connor...
Yeah, I'm actually the one who discovered it broken, which looks really bad. But I promise I didn't do anything crazy. No, I was filming my Viltrox video, and I wanted to be able to hold the Canon and the Viltrox and, while I'm talking about it. So I thought, well, the EOS R is sitting here. I'm going to use it. Popped in a battery. It wasn't turning on. I was like, okay, it must be dead. I'll just use the plug-in, plug it into a wall and be done with it. Put it in, try to turn it on. Again, didn't turn on. I was like fiddling with all the connections. I'm like, surely I'm just stupid, right? I'm doing something wrong. Couldn't figure it out. I said, whatever. I'll just film it on my M50. Yeah. And then...
So be it.
So be it. Told Dave, no big deal.
I immediately went through all the things that you already went through, which was... Is the battery dead? Did you try a normal battery?
Yeah, he told me all the things that I did test, and I said I really didn't put a lot of time into trying to fix it. No big. I thought no big deal. I thought I was just being dumb. Then he took it.
We went on a shoot
to the Timberland shoot.
Yeah, thankfully I brought the Nikon and a Sony a6300 as a backup.
So I wasn't supposed to be there till what 10, 9?
Yeah, I got there at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And Connor showed up at 10 because we filmed footage for our Nikon review.
Yeah, you texted me at like 7 a.m. or something like that, and you're like, dude, the EOS R is toast. It's not turning on. I'm like,
no. So I posted a tweet about it. Canon responded on Twitter and just told me to send it in and they'll fix it. I'm sure they will, and I hope that it is covered under our warranty because we've only had it for a month and it's already broken.
Yeah.
Granted, we did use a third-party battery adapter thing, and I'm assuming that that's what happened. Maybe something shorted out when it was plugged in to the wall. And for that, hopefully, we're all good.
So fair warning to anyone who has the EOS R, maybe don't buy that. We don't know that was the problem.
Yeah, we need to probably buy another
but it could be.
Accessory to do that in the future, or maybe I'll just buy the battery grip and then we'll just put 2 batteries in it, and that would probably be plenty of battery life. But honestly, at this point, what's funny is it forced us to use the Nikon Z6.
It's true.
And I'm honestly starting to really love it. I mean, as you can see with the stream right now, the colors are very good. I think the colors look better than Sony.
Actually, I think this might be some of the best color, not resolution. Yeah. We're shooting on a low resolution because of the internet.
Yeah, our internet quality is trash.
If you look at the color, this might be some of the best color we've had on a stream.
So the color on the camera is great. Nikon's known for that. The autofocus is good. We still need to figure it out and dial it in to be perfect.
Yeah, right now it's a little slow, but that's probably just the setting you're saying. But I guess slow is good if you want more cinematic transitions.
I'm kind of nerding out right now because Kai Wong just liked one of my tweets.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, it's funny because it forced us to use the Nikon. We've been holding on to it for a while. And I like our current workflow of things. We don't really own a camera ever. We're just kind of cycling through.
I mean, I own that camera.
Yeah, I don't own anything anymore. It's hard for me to justify it because we always have 1 or 2 cameras on hand.
Own is in quotes because technically we have these cameras, but he doesn't it's not like the 1DC that was a mainstay camera.
Yeah, and honestly, once the EOS R broke, I started thinking about the things that I liked about the EOS R, the things I hated, and all the things that I like about it and all the things that I hated are solved with the 1DX Mark II, which again is really funny because I love the color science, I love the autofocus, and I love the 4K image quality. I love the lenses that Canon has. I hate the durability of the EOS R. I hate the button layout of the EOS R. It was so annoying. There's no joystick for autofocus, selection.
The touch bar thing is kind of weird.
It was a big pain in the butt to switch between video and photo. The 1DX has a nice little switch for that.
Like the Nikon does.
Like the Nikon does.
Yeah.
White balance and ISO was a pain in the butt to switch quickly, and the 1DX has that. The only thing that the EOS R has that the 1DX doesn't have that I wish it had is, well, I guess two things, is the flip screen, the selfie flip screen,
right,
and the codec of the 4K.
But to be fair, the flip screen for how we shoot isn't as big of a deal, and it would force us to use a monitor, which we should be doing anyways.
I know.
Again.
Exactly. We used to use the focus monitor for everything on the 1DC because, well, we needed focus peaking.
Our comments are revolting. They want to talk about the Osmo Pocket.
Okay, cool. So anyways.
Sorry, guys. We just got off on a tangent because that's kind of the production behind Kinotika, and it means something to us. But
all right, so we'll get back on
the Pocket.
Yeah, we'll get back to the Osmo Pocket. This is so funny. Your comments are hilarious. Okay, so hit us up at Kinotika. Ask us any questions you want, clearly, about the Osmo Pocket. So to talk more about that, our buddies at We Talk UAV did a really funny video. They actually strapped the Osmo Pocket to a Mavic 2, and it was pretty funny.
I'm going to find it.
Yeah, if you want to find that and link it. It's funny because it's so impractical. Honestly, the camera of the
thumbnail's great too.
The camera of the Mavic is better than the Osmo Pocket, especially the Mavic 2 Pro. But it's a funny concept, of course. Okay.
People are wanting us to rate the Osmo Pocket 1 out of 10. I've noticed that a few times.
Okay, so 1 out of 10.
Let's split this up, Dave. Between 1 and 10, what do you think? Osmo Pocket. Let's do two ways.
So
let's
vague,
say 1 out of 10 as a consumer product, 1 out of 10 as a professional tool.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I'll say 7 on consumer, 5 on pro.
Okay.
And then the reason that I say 7 for consumer, not 10, is because of the price. I think it's too expensive for consumers. It needs to be $299 or $199 if anything.
Right.
If this camera was $200, it would get a 10 out of 10 for consumers.
Agreed.
I say 5 for pro because, well, it's not very professional. You're still going to want to use a real gimbal with a real camera on it if you're a professional. But I would have no hesitation to pull it out in a circumstance where the maybe the gimbal that I'm using is broken, or it would be too big and distracting. So for example, I've actually filmed at a jail before in Nicaragua. I went with a missionary and we did some work in the jail, and they told me just shoot on your iPhone or just shoot stripped down because you can't look like a big production. So I could easily have gone in there with this, get some nice stabilized footage, get some 4K 60.
Yeah.
And it's not obtrusive. So in that respect, it is a professional tool.
Yeah.
But again, quality wise, you're always going to get a better. Even the M50 on a Ronin S would look better than this.
I would say that you're right. I would say that it's actually for professionals. It's just a niche kind of rare occasions would you actually need it. But
if you have the money, just get it.
Yeah, worth it just to have in your pocket. Something that I'm not sure if you kind of touched on it a little bit, but it doesn't even. The thing about it is that it doesn't look professional. So if you were on a professional shoot and you showed up with this as your gimbal, they would look at you really weird, which rightfully so, because it's kind of.
I will say there are some accessories that are coming out from DJI that ND filters. Those are going to really help for professionals. Also, if there's some companies that will make a cage for it to give you tripod mounts and handles and things, you could mount your phone on it more sturdy.
So maybe 6 months from now, 4 months from now, 3 months from now, it'll be a much more useful tool.
Yeah, I think so. And it's funny because DJI has other Osmos. They have the main Osmo, which you can actually buy with a Micro Four Thirds camera on it that you can change the lenses. It shoots 4K raw video. So those exist already, but I would still almost, because this is more modern, like I would almost use this over the just baseline Osmo, because the baseline Osmo came out like 2 or 3 years ago. So
Right.
the quality of this is so good compared to even the big Osmo.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I think it'd be cool if they, I don't see them doing it, but maybe if they kept this kind of idea and made it a little bit bigger, put the 1-inch camera on it, called it the Osmo Pocket Pro, or something.
With Hasselblad camera.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could see DJI maybe in the future.
I actually would like it to be a little bigger.
With like a little swivel for your phone mount, so that you don't have to just stay locked to this all the time without moving it. Because like anytime I want to get a low shot, like this, I kind of have to look down. But also, if you just lock the tilt axis, you can do this, and then it stays straight. But
workarounds. That's actually a great idea, though. A swivel.
Yeah, some sort of swivel, and that's how the original Osmo is. This is just to keep it nice and compact and small.
I think this is definitely just the first generation, and I think this thing's popular enough that there will be a second one.
Absolutely.
So I think there's hope for that.
I've had people, Mike from Firmware says, I've had people tell me I wasn't allowed to film and try to get me to stop at events before, even with a G85. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of events that a professional would be in where you could literally throw this in your pocket. Unlike the Blackmagic Pocket, which does not fit in your pocket at all. This actually fits in your pocket. This is my iPhone XS Max, and it's bigger than the Osmo Pocket. So
substantially.
Honestly, these two items right here, I could walk into a concert or a place where you're not supposed to film, and shoot real professional video with these two items.
Maybe another instance for professionals is like journalists.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a great way to capture things for journalists who don't want to have like in the modern era of journalists where you don't necessarily always have a film crew.
Yeah,
I'm sure independent journalists.
Yeah, totally. But again, like, would a journalist just use a mobile phone instead? Like, I think that would probably be better because you can upload from the phone. You have decent audio, decent video.
You're right.
But
although you could record straight to your phone on this as well.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we didn't mention in the review because we actually didn't know it because we never used it without a memory card. But we did a shoot with Caleb Wojcik, and we didn't bring a memory card, stupidly.
And they're so tiny, they're easy to forget.
And thankfully, the app allows you to record directly to your phone. So no matter what resolution, no matter what quality you're shooting in, it actually records to the memory on your phone, which is a great feature to have. And I really like that because it kind of keeps, if you're editing on your phone anyways and you're uploading from your phone, that might be the best way to do it because then you never have to transfer anything. It just goes straight to your phone.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
especially like you said, you have the 256, so you'll never run out of space too.
Jefferson says, what do you think about the Osmo Pocket versus the Osmo Mobile 2 with the new smartphone, Google Pixel 3 or
Armando
XS?
did a video on that.
Yeah, Armando Fiera. He did it wasn't the Osmo Mobile, it was the Moza Air.
Oh,
but same thing. The main camera of the iPhone is doing some magic that I'm loving the new iPhone XS Max. I can't speak to the Pixel, although I've seen some reviews of it, and I did use it a little bit. Our friend Sydney Diongzin let me borrow it for a day, and the video quality of the Pixel is not good at all compared to the iPhone. If you shoot in 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second, it's actually doing some computational video magic, and if you're shooting in low light, it's actually applying noise reduction based off of so it's recording it's capturing in 60 frames, but it's recording in 30. It's using those extra 30 frames to like calculate the noise and like make it better in low light. So the iPhone is continuing to be more and more advanced through technology and what's called computational photography. And the Osmo is not doing that, obviously. So
it's kind of funny though, because that's similar to what the Pixel 3 is doing for night photos.
Yeah,
so they're using similar, not the same,
sort of
similar technology, but one's better with photos by far. Pixel is definitely better photos.
Although I can see Apple doing that, just stealing that idea.
Yeah, they
in
should.
iOS 13.
I don't know why they haven't yet.
Well, somebody had to do it first, I guess.
I guess so.
I think if a lot of people say that they want that feature from the Pixel, I'm sure iPhone will do it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, to answer the question, I do think that the iPhone is probably still a better video camera than the Osmo. It's a tough question because the practicality and the quickness of just popping this out and going is nice. Being detached from your phone and not having notifications and like having a memory card so you don't have to like worry about, do I have enough space on my phone? And just, I don't like having my phone as a work tool that much. I like to keep it separate and like, this is for social media, this is for email, texting, phone calls. And then using real cameras is how I capture photos and video. But, when it comes to like taking pictures of my son and filming videos, this is always in my pocket and this is what I always grab.
Although that is stabilized with computers and some weird tech, and this is stabilized with a gimbal.
Exactly. Well, he's talking about if you use it on a gimbal though with the iPhone.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's just bigger. It's less of a, what happens if you get a phone call in the middle of your shoot, Like, I think there's still some value in having a separate device completely. But in terms of quality, just check out Armando's video. We linked it. You can judge for yourself. I do think the iPhone has better quality than the Osmo Pocket.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Although, to be fair, this is $350 and that's
exactly.
like $1,300 or whatever
it is. I have the 256 gig iPhone XS Max. This is like $1,500.
Although the Osmo Pocket can't play Fortnite, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Although I have heard that the iPhone, the camera modules on the phone only costs Apple $300. So most of that money is going towards the technology and the manufacturing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, I have seen this a few times. Furworks talking about GoPro Black versus the Osmo Pocket shootouts in low light. And they were saying that the 7, specifically the Hypersmooth, just like falls apart in low light. I haven't seen videos. I've seen a lot of comments on that on our GoPro video. Maybe we should look into that while we have both. Or
why don't we?
We can maybe make a video.
Let's go ahead and just everybody who's watching, all 141 of you, if you can pull out your phones or your keyboard on your computer. And right now, comment in the live stream. Tell me exactly what you want to see. We want to just get any comments from you guys about or requests on what videos you want to see. We want to make more content with the Osmo. We want to give you guys exactly what you want. So please comment right now. I'm going to capture it. I'll do a screenshot of it and we'll make a video.
Make sure to add to your question at Kinotika.
Yeah.
So that we know. Otherwise, it's hard to find.
Yeah, so low light vid. It looks like everybody's saying low light vid. Give us a walkthrough of the UI. This is all good.
That's a good one.
Feels bad. Third party ND filters out before actual DJI filters are out. What do you mean? Who has them?
They said I saw someone say it for like $35 on Amazon.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I'm
sure other people will make them soon. It'll be pretty. They'll be everywhere, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm looking around. I don't see them. All right, who else? Any more comments? USB-C to HDMI adapter test. Interesting. Is that a thing?
Could be.
What will be the life of 3-axis? Take the Osmo Pocket up to Big Bear and show us what you'd use in a day. You actually did do that.
In my Osmo Pocket video, there's a few clips of Big Bear.
Yeah.
So if you want like a taste, I was gonna do a vlog test with the Pocket from Big Bear, but I didn't wipe my card and
Alan says
ran out of footage.
How about a full day vlog with the Osmo in real life situation? That's a good idea. We could just treat it like a true vlog camera.
Yeah, let's go up to Big Bear
and be vloggy. I don't want to go to Big Bear. I'll go to LA. Right.
He doesn't like. Dave and I are very different.
I like city more than I'd rather go to Hollywood and go down Hollywood Boulevard and hang out around all that.
Yeah,
all that messy, dirty stuff.
I'd rather go to Joshua Tree and go rock climbing.
Yeah, I am not a nature I don't. To me, there's nothing unique about it anymore. The guys that are really good at the travel vlogs, good for you. That's awesome. We met one guy last week who was amazing.
Such a cool guy.
Chris Poops.
Chris Poops is his Instagram handle.
And I love the travel vloggers. I love their photography. It's all great and dandy. It's just not me. I'm more green screen with like old retro 3D animation.
Hey, and it's good to have variety. That's why we both work here, so that we get some goofy green screens and some pretty nature.
That's right. There's nothing beats a beautiful backdrop. I'm definitely on board with nature. Stanley, okay. Still waiting for my Mavic 2.
Underwater test between them. We can't do that yet because the Osmo Pocket is not waterproof and the waterproof case isn't out yet, I don't think.
No, but we could put it in a Ziploc bag. Maybe we'll do that. That'd be funny.
We should make a waterproof case for it. That could be funny.
Daniel, loads of Cine D on the Osmo, indoors and color grade. Okay. Nino, is there a way to keep the M50 from going to sleep for using as a webcam? So Nino, when we used we bought a little adapter off Amazon.
Kind of the same thing with the EOS
Yeah,
R.
except we never had any problems with it.
It's true.
You just plug that in like with an AC wall adapter, and we were able to stream with this for about an hour. And
also, like the falling asleep thing, I turn that off on my cameras. It sleeps after 1 minute or 5 minutes. It's a setting.
No, not on the M50. You can't turn it off.
It isn't?
Yeah, it turns off after an hour, which is what he's referring to.
Oh.
So I don't know what the deal is, but I think maybe because it was plugged in and we used the adapter, it kind of overwrites that, and we never had any problems with it. I have a friend, Mark Lowry, actually, of all people. He's a gospel music singer, and he bought an M50 for live streaming, and he's using an app that goes over USB. So you plug it into the USB port on here, and then that goes into your computer, and then you use an app, and then that allows you to just use it without it cutting out. So there's a couple options out there. Okay, so do an odd couple shoot of why the Osmo Pocket is perfect for the city. No, it's perfect for the mountains, and duke it out. That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
DMC would like to see Cityscape for the day and night as well, with software to get best videos and pictures. So like low light.
Yeah. Settings.
Which is the best Osmo Pocket versus GoPro Hero? Which should I buy? It depends on your use. I mean, we talked about it in our official review comparison.
Kind of. Since this thing has gotten updated, there's some extra little things, but I think the overall point was still the same in that video. If you watch the end, basically Dave just said that they're two different cameras, which they are. If you're about to go mountain biking, or you're going scuba diving or skydiving, anything diving, go with the GoPro probably.
Yeah.
But if you're a vlogger or you're just out and about, you're getting city shots, or get the Osmo.
And one thing that you should always remember too about GoPros is they don't focus. It's a locked focus.
It's true.
So the Osmo actually does have autofocus, and it, if it works, then it looks great. You get some nice depth of field. If you watch Jevin's video, I noticed it, like his selfie mode was totally in focus because I think, there's a certain distance where everything's in focus basically.
Yeah.
But there was a shot where he was doing a detail shot of his hand, and that was actually out of focus because it was too close. So this is actually a real camera with autofocusing ability. Granted, it's not always going to be perfect and spot on, as we've seen in our reviews.
And a decent aperture too, with the 2, right?
Yeah, the GoPro's at f2.8, and this is f2.0. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it does make a difference.
Sure.
And because you can actually autofocus, it's a better tool for using it as a camera. I don't know. Are you having issues with the stream right now, by the way? Mine's kind of looping. Is that just...
Mine did that. I just refreshed it.
Okay, cool. Will Osmo Pocket become outdated in 3 years? Of course it will. It'll be outdated in 6 months.
Yeah, it was just updated, technically, a little bit.
This is definitely not the most practical thing ever, but this is the way that we function on this channel, is we just buy stuff, and then as soon as it's not relevant anymore, we just sell it. We don't really take much of a loss. You maybe lose like $200 and then you just get the next thing. So not everybody can justify that, because that $200 loss doesn't make any sense for most people.
It's our job. Yeah. So it's a necessary loss.
Yeah, and honestly, for $399 or $349,
for
$349, if it lasts you a year, like and you're using it professionally, then yeah, I mean,
I've seen this question a lot too. People want to know if it's weather resistant. Do you know if it is? They're like, if it's raining, is it okay? Like they understand that you can't submerge it.
I mean, they don't say it, but
they don't.
I would imagine that it will be fine. Everything seems fairly sealed up.
I mean, there's some pretty noticeable seams.
I wouldn't have a problem with it myself, but then again, I'm not like, I don't really care about gear too much.
It almost never rains here. How are we supposed to test this?
Low light, any weather resistant. Carrying an XR in the pocket array, would the pocket be better than a Zhiyun, which would be cheaper? Not necessarily Tension Vegana. If you have a new iPhone, that's probably going to give you better video quality. So if you're willing to carry around a gimbal for your phone, then that's probably going to be the best. The only problem with the phone situation is there's no screen on it, so you can't see yourself when you're using the good camera.
Yeah.
If you use the selfie camera to film yourself, then obviously you can see yourself, but that camera sucks. I don't know why they don't make the selfie camera better. I wish they would. I would pay extra to have the same camera on the back as the front, but
well, I guess because the back camera like sticks out like a sore thumb, it'd be kind of weird on the front.
I would pay for it. I wish they would give me the option, but
yeah.
They have to make 30 million of them at once, so they're all the same. Is it easy to update the firmware? Yeah, it was pretty easy once we figured it out. DJI sent us like the wrong file name structure, so we had to change the text. There was a dash in it, and we got rid of the dash, and then it worked.
Yeah, but we're using like unreleased.
Yeah, we're using
software,
unofficial, like straight from DJI. So sent me an email. Like
I imagine it'll be just like updating your app, and then or just like something normal in the iOS or Android store, and then
it'll probably be
maybe like through the phone.
It'll probably be through the phone.
Yeah.
If not, then you'll download it online, put it on the SD card, and then it'll just update itself. But I would imagine that it'll do it through the phone. Is the Pocket good for photos? Yes, it is. It takes raw photos, and the quality was very good. We did a test on the GoPro comparison video. Both the GoPro and the Osmo take good photos. I would not, use it as a camera. Like I wouldn't necessarily like carry it around specifically to take pictures with, but it's there and you can use it.
Yeah. Smoky Mountain Aerial Imaging is asking, and I'm not really sure what he's asking, so I'm gonna ask Dave. It says M50 upgrade to EOS R. Any suggestions? I think he's asking what can you get to make the M50 comparable to the EOS R? Maybe. Any suggestions?
I think he's saying, should I upgrade to the EOS R?
Oh, from the M50.
It just depends on what you need. I think for the same price as the EOS R, if you're willing to switch over to Sony, the A7 III is a better option for price. But
unless you're talking, lenses are kind of expensive for both. But
if he has an M50 and you only have EF-M lenses, then if you switch to A7 III, Nikon, or even the EOS R, it doesn't matter. You're buying new lenses for everything.
Right.
So if you do have EF lenses already and you're using an adapter on the M50, maybe consider the Speed Booster. It's a really cheap way to get full frame.
Right.
But if you want true autofocus in 4K and you want Canon log, you want all the things that the EOS R has, then yeah, I mean, the EOS R is the only camera at all that exists with a flip screen that's made by Canon.
It is just a beefy M50 in the end.
Yeah.
Just a overpriced M50.
Totally. I think it should be $1,800, like max.
Max, yeah.
It's too expensive. We Talk UAV. Hey, what's up, Alex?
Hey, yo.
What's up? Is the Pocket good for photos? I already read that. Can you take photos? Wow, a lot of people asking about that.
Yeah.
How can I buy the Osmo Pocket in India? Not sure.
India has their own Amazon, right?
I think they do, but I'm not sure if... let me check if DJI has an Indian site. Check the DJI store, dji.com/store, whatever. There's a video on how to firmware update. Not yet. The camera, the Osmo just I think the Mimo app just came out on iOS. So I'm gonna download that. It's the official app.
Did it come out? It came out today, I think, right? The Osmo Pocket officially came out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna download that. I imagine the firmware is gonna update through the app. Where can I buy this? Amazon and DJI is the best places to go.
Maybe B&H?
B&H is only American.
Oh, what do I know? See.
All right, I'm going to the DJI website. We had somebody ask about India. Let me see. India. Spanish. Portuguese. China. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see India in here. India. If I can spell it. Yep. No, it doesn't look like they're available. Sorry.
Right.
Figure it out. I don't know how it works in other countries. If you want to buy through Amazon through like another country, click
maybe eBay.
Yeah, click the link in our description here. It's a Genius link that should check international as well for the Osmo Pocket. It's the very first link here. It says buy the Osmo Pocket. If you click that link, maybe you can figure out how to get it in India.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a video on the update. Cool. Do a video on the best settings for different lighting.
Okay.
Comparison video on time warp versus time lapse Osmo Pocket. What is time warp? Is that GoPro?
No, it's the time warp is the GoPro thing, right? Where you move and it does that. I don't know that. Can you do a time lapse time warp with the like a time warp thing with
I don't think so.
Osmo? I think it has to be stationary. I think it knows if it's moving.
I don't know. We don't know everything.
Yeah.
M50 or XT20. It depends on what you need. The XT20 has better autofocus for 4K. There's no crop in 4K like the M50. It also looks more retro and way better. There's way more lenses on the Fuji system than the EF-M system. And the photos are going to look better. So if all those things are more important to you than a flip screen and dual pixel autofocus in 1080, then buy that. But if you want to vlog and you're mostly a videographer, the M50, even in 1080p mode, might be a better option. But there you go. Okay, so things are starting to kind of just trail off here. We're at exactly an hour.
Yeah.
I think we've done a pretty good job answering all your questions.
Sure.
We really appreciate all of you guys. This is the biggest stream we've ever done.
Yay.
So again, thank you new subscribers for being here. Again,
and old subscribers, we love you all. Let's not exclude anybody.
I'm going to take some notes on the chat here and make sure that we just like have a tally of the requests, and we'll try our best to get stuff out.
Probably and will not make all those videos because it's just impossible with the bandwidth that we have. But
also, Christmas is coming very soon.
Yeah, I actually leave town. I'm going away for
going to Nashville.
Going to Nashville. So is he, but he goes later. So
yeah, I'm leaving on the 25th, which is Christmas Day, and then he's leaving next Tuesday. So, so yeah, we're going to do our best. We'll probably do one or two more videos about the Osmo and try to give you guys the comparisons and the reviews that you want. Again, maybe we'll do another like Q&A video or something that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
We were able to kind of
look
at all the questions that people wanted and then answer them directly instead of just the live stream here. But yeah, we try our best to do live streams every Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. That would be 2 o'clock Central and 3 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
We're trying to go before our buddy Caleb Pike, who I think is probably doing his live stream any minute now, pretty soon.
We do this because it's hard to always do it because of scheduling, but yeah, like Dave said, we try our best.
Yeah, so if this was fun for you guys, you liked interacting with us, we love interacting with you and answering your questions. Just mental note, every Wednesday we're supposed to do a live stream.
We totally do this for fun, by the way.
Yeah,
live streams are totally for fun.
We're not doing it for money. We're not doing it to get tons of views. We're doing it to connect with you guys. So, and gals.
Yeah. Dave, do you have anything you want to plug? Do you want to plug the giveaway one more time?
Yes. If you guys didn't hear by now, I'm sure if you've watched any of our videos in the last couple of weeks, then you have heard about it. But we are doing an Osmo Pocket giveaway in collaboration with Armando Fiera and Jevin Dovey.
And that just got a whole lot more sweet now that the update is here.
Yes. So if you don't want to pay $350 for one and you want the chance to win one, then click the link in the description of this video. I have it down in the description, Osmo Pocket giveaway, and there's a link. If you're already subscribed to us and you want to submit your entry, then unsubscribe to us and then do the giveaway. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Basically, you enter to win by subscribing to all three of us. So
it's goofy, but it works.
Yeah. So if you, like I said, if you already are a subscriber to any one of us, just unsubscribe and then subscribe, and then that gives you an entry. So kind of goofy, but yeah, that's
our subscribe count's gonna do this weird up and down thing.
We hit 40,000 subs
Yes.
this week. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. We essentially have doubled in a month, which is great,
and we're really humbled by it.
Yeah.
It's we didn't think before the end of the year we would get here. We were just trying to shoot for 30.
Yeah.
We're like, man, hopefully we can hit 30, and you guys came and you crushed it.
Yeah, heck yeah. So thank you so much. Cool. Well, I guess that's about it for today.
Yeah, can I plug myself?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Definitely go check out my channel. I'm tagging it right here. If you guys want to know anything about the Viltrox, I plan on doing more videos on it, maybe 2 or 3 more. And also, Dave and I are going to do one on Kinotika, which is going to be much more informational. Mine are going to be more test-based, like blind test. I want to do a blind test.
Connor's the M50 guru. He's been using it now ever since we got it officially, and he owns it. So
I do.
He's kind of the expert when it comes to that. So definitely check out his video and comment on it. Dang.
Stick Shift 76. Wow, thank you for the $24.99 donation.
I love that you had the
you really wanted to ask us this question. External mic hookup on the Pocket. Yes, there is an adapter coming sometime by DJI. We don't know when. But it's a little USB-C to 3.5 millimeter jack, and that can run like lavs or other external mics.
And just for reference, we have tried it with the Google Pixel USB-C to mic input or headphone jack, and that didn't work. We used the GoPro one that goes from USB-C to headphone jack / mic input that's designed for GoPros. That didn't work. So we're thinking that there's a proprietary thing involved here with DJI. I was going to buy some different ones from Amazon and see if those would work, but because the Google Pixel one and the GoPro one didn't work, I'm assuming that we need to probably buy the DJI one.
Right.
It's really weird though, because it's going to just stick out the bottom, which means you can't really set it straight down. So you're going to want to use maybe their little mount that they're selling for GoPros, which will have a little GoPro mount right here, which then could give you a tripod mount, which would then kind of offset it so that you can still plug a mic in. I'm totally trusting that other companies are going to make cages and accessories to allow you to mount a true microphone on here,
right?
And give you the ability to use a tripod in addition to the mic input. So we just kind of have to wait around for that and see what accessory makers come up with. But the answer to the question is yes, you can use an external mic for the Pocket. And thank you, Stickshift 76 for the donation. It means a lot.
That's awesome. And Furworks, as always, dude, paying for the coffee.
Heck yeah.
What a legend.
Thank you, Furworks. You're a legend for sure. You've been around for a long time, and we really appreciate every week your donations. So
and
thank you so
also,
much.
yes, it's a good thing we found an Aldi, because Aldi is way, way cheaper than like every other store.
Aldi New York cheddar is the best. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. So, too funny.
I love the $24.99. That's hilarious. All right, guys. Well, This is it. We're going to log off. We really appreciate all you guys again. We'll see you hopefully next week. Connor will be gone, but maybe I'll just do it by myself. We could do like a Google Hangout or something.
Maybe we'll do that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Peace out, guys. Love y'all.